Yeah, I'ma kill you in a second if I have to. Use my mind as a weapon when I blast through. Put the basics in the base.
All right, Nate. Welcome to episode 23 of the PT Performance Podcast, brother. You had the week off last week. How's things?
Yeah, man, absolutely excellent. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's just you and me tonight, Mooney. Richo's dishes again.
So we'll have to send out an application and see if he's still around. No, I know he's been pretty flat out with the wedding and everything lately, so we'll look forward to getting him back on board when he gets the chance. All right, so mate, we had 2 big weeks with guests in that we had Travis Jones from RBT. Some really amazing feedback from the show.
Solid guest, and last week you had Mark from FMA, which I obviously still haven't listened to, but by all accounts, you said it was actually really solid.
Solid, yeah. Again, for the guys that haven't seen it yet, watch 21 then 22, or watch 22 then 21. It doesn't really matter which order you watch those two in, because they both feed off each other really well, and they both have a strong connection in that they work together on certain projects, and their staff train with each other, and it's really useful, and you'll be able to get the practical application up to the work ethic and the hype, and vice versa. So do yourselves a favor, if you haven't checked it out already, go back. But from the feedback we're getting, I guess most people have definitely seen 21, and it's only been less than a week that 22 went out there, and I'm starting to get people referring to that and saying they did, they picked up something new. So that's really cool. On the back of that, what I wanted to talk about is something that I guess a lot of people don't really consider, whether they find themselves gravitating that way naturally without it being a strategy or not is a different thing, but building a community inside a commercial gym setting. So if you're a personal trainer operating out of a commercial gym, it's easy to just be another PT on the board and amongst the 1,500, 2,000, 5,000 members, depending on the size of the facility. What we want to talk about today is why you should consider, probably go more than consider, why you should just fucking try and create your own community inside that community, like a little sub-community. Yep. Establish yourself as the leader of this community, so that you become someone that is actively sought after by the regular attendees or the members of the gym, and somewhat of an expert in your field. That way you're not appealing to everybody. You've got your niche, you've got your level of expertise, and you've got to attract people into that community. But it's not just having people that are using your services. It's an actual dedicated process that you are building this community from the ground up. Yeah. And
building it for business purposes, expansion purposes, culture purposes, and then they kind of all circle within to each other, basically. Yeah.
100%. Now, and we'll go into that in more detail, but to get your interest, guys, if you ever think you want to be an online PT or provide online PT services, if you don't already have a community of active and engaged clients, consumers, customers around you, it's going to be a hard slog. If you don't already have some ridiculously high amount of followers, or you're not built like some Greek god or goddess. Okay. So the best way to do this is to create a community of people that are actively using your product. Eventually what you want to do then is have that community buzzing. They follow every word you say, because you provide them with ridiculously great content, amazing service, and they're achieving their results. Then when you open the gates to allow non-members of that facility into your community, you've got all these ready-made testimonials essentially, and then they're going to be more open to dealing with you. And then when you give the offer for them to become an online PT, it's an easier transaction because they've seen you in action. Yep. So we'll come back to that. What's important, Nate, in your just experience in life in general, how would you define an exclusive community? How would you say, in a gym environment, what would you consider to be things you would need to have in place to have this little community?
So for me, building a specific community inside a gym isn't all that hard to do as a collective. Building a specific community within your business as such can probably be a little bit harder, because you're trying to not blur the lines between, potentially interacting too much with other trainers, clients, taking business away from the gym. So it can be a little bit tricky. So if you're ever wondering about how you should potentially approach a few things, maybe they could reach out to you. Or probably a better thing is actually talk to your personal training boss and kind of get the rules of engagement. And what I'm saying here is basically, if the gym you're in is trying to run an 8-week challenge, and you want to run your own 8-week challenge on the side of that, that's probably not going to work because there's going to be a conflict for them. Something like along those lines. You want to get your community into an 8-week challenge. You would have to probably more than likely do yours separate. Building a community within your own client base isn't not rocket science. Like, it's just you showing up and doing the stuff, or like, to me, it's you showing up, being who you are every day, getting your clients to interact with each other, maybe putting on a couple of events outside of what you normally do. Like, I've got a group session here, we're doing a group thing here. Something that's going to like build it around the training style that you have, because you are the center of that environment, without like making it sound really arrogant. You are the thing that makes that cog turn, at least for an initial period in the beginning, before there's enough rapport built up between people to kind of keep things going along. I've got a few caveats to throw in on that, but I'll let you chime in first.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on. And this is more, again, in a commercial gym setting, this is more a case of you're the leader. You're the PT, you're the expert, you're the person they're coming to, right? So let's move out any tall poppy syndrome issues or daddy issues or whatever it is and go, in this context, you're the leader. You're in charge of your community. You want to grow a community of like-minded individuals around you, which by default will almost be little mini versions of yourself one way or another. Because if they're not, they're probably not going to follow you as hard if they had very similar things in common, okay? So you're the leader. Your clients are already coming to you for that service, and you're already providing them with those service and results because they're your clients. Makes total sense. So essentially what we're trying to do is wrap around an invisible fence around your community, and you're going to give them a little extra love than you will Johnny that's walking through the gym floor, who you're still going to show a bit of love because potentially you can help him as well. But right now, this is your group, okay? Along with the one-on-one PT or some small team training or some semi-private, whatever your package is, whatever you're allowed in your facility, but whatever that service offering is, that's what you're giving them. You're also giving them after-hours stuff, or when I say after-hours, not just the face-to-face. So weekend social stuff. Maybe you've got a Facebook group. You might be sharing tips and training suggestions or life achievements between each other. You've got your clients. Mary just had a baby. Share a little photo, Mary's new baby, and everyone can chime in and make Mary feel amazing that she might be away from the gym, but people are still thinking of her. Billy's in, fly out. So when he's out of town, hey, Billy, you're not really missing much. This is what we've been. It's a cool little community. So when they're around, they all feel part of it. They're not just people walking past each other in the gym, knowing that you're their trainer and that you've got that in common. Okay, we're building this community. If just to go back on what you said, Nate, if your club is having an 8-week challenge, so to speak, sure, get the rules of engagement. You might say, well, look, hey guys, my community, we're all entering this. You're entering it under the gym's rules. The great news is you've got one thing in common, and that's I'm your trainer and we're going to do this together. So you could do it like that. When it comes to engaging with other people's clients, it goes back to some of our earliest episodes. Do you have a PT? Yep. Who is it? It's Nate. You're in great hands. Nate's an awesome dude. Go have a chat with him. He'll look after you. And on the flip side of that, if Nate's doing an amazing job, it doesn't matter how fucking good your community is, he's probably not going to join it because he's having a great experience with Nate. So as long as you're not actively poaching, I don't see there's going to be too many gray areas there, right? By building this community and offering them extra love and stuff, then you're creating more value. You're creating more reasons for them to want to sit with you. Now, we talk about, I get quite a lot in my clients and my people I'm working with is ultimately I would like to become an online personal trainer, okay? If you've got a dedicated and active group of clients around you in the face-to-face realm, I guarantee you will have a greater level of success. I'm not going to tell you what the scale of that will be because there's all variables on that, but you'll have a greater level of success crossing over to the online opportunity, especially if you're dragging people that aren't members of your gym into your community. So how that works, you've got your Facebook community, you've got your 15 odd gym members that are your personal trainer clients in there. You might get them to bring a friend or family member that doesn't live in the area that they feel can benefit from being in the community. The motivational things you share, the meal plans you share, the workout tips, that sort of thing. They come in, they see that their friend that brought them in is in this community. They're having a great time. They're achieving their results. They reach out and say, Nate, I see Billy's been one of your training clients for a while. Look, I live in Sydney. I can't get to the coast. How do I engage you as a trainer? Okay. And that's more like, I think, kind of like along the lines, Nate, of your online clientele. Yeah. It's grown organically rather than you actively seeking them out by Facebook marketing or Instagram challenges or something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, purely by proxy. What is the main reason you find that most coaches say they want to go purely online? Because obviously you deal with it more than I do.
Oh, to be fair, because they don't fucking get it. They don't understand that it's not an easy option. I think a lot of them look at it as it's the thing that everyone's going, therefore I need to be there. Okay. I don't think, for most of the guys I deal with, most of the guys and girls, I don't think it's sinister. I don't think it's laziness that they go, this is an easier option for that regard. I just think they feel, oh, I'm hearing everywhere that all these people are having massive success as being online trainers and they're earning all this money, but they still get to live this lifestyle. I spoke to one of my clients tonight and I spoke to another one a couple of days ago. I was like, that doesn't happen if you don't already have a successful business in place. Because even if you did pick up a bunch of online clients, it'll crash and burn if you don't have this sound concept of what it takes to run a business in the first place. So I think that's why most of the people I talk to consider online is they feel it's going to provide them with an income and a lifestyle. They just don't fully comprehend the workload that needs to go into it to get to that stage, and then that it continues on even though your clients are no longer face to face.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. I don't get it as a pool. Like I get it, but I don't get it at the same time.
Yeah. Dude, my advice to all of them is keep building your business for the next 12 to 18 months. And if you pick up an opportunity to go online along the way, go for it. But it can't just be, I honestly don't think it's really wise, especially in Australia right now. I don't think we've got the population numbers or really the way that we look at things to smash that out of the park just yet. But I guess there's another point to the thing is they can pick up clients from international online. But again, same thing, if your systems aren't strong, if your business isn't strong, it's a band-aid solution. I just don't think it's really the best. Unless you cross.
Yeah, two of the, like, I'll stop on this so we can get back to the community thing. The two most popular online companies that I know of that are actually fully booked quality trades, quality results, have never spent a dime on marketing.
Yep.
Like, if you feel that your key to success of being an online coach is how you Facebook target and everything like that, it is needed when you are quite big, I suppose, because you need a lot of stuff to sustain the machine you've built, like Travis talks about. But if you're you and someone else and you think you need that to build it online, I would heavily consider having a thorough look at yourself, because if you're not in demand online organically straight away, it's probably not for you.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's not for me even. And I've got 20 clients.
And to be fair, unless you have these super, I mean, even if you do, but if you don't have super strong business systems in place, the best you're going to be charging is $10, $20. You know what I mean? You won't be able to charge premium, because the guys that have those systems in place, their premium is not even a premium. It's affordable. And these are guys that have the shit in place. So yeah, I honestly think build your business, build a community around that real life face-to-face business, get it to a point where other people outside the community want in. When they want in, you get to pick and choose who you let in, because you only want to be working with people who see and work inside your community. And then when they come in, they're almost paying the same premium as a face-to-face. So you haven't had to discount it or anything like that.
Yeah, like, so getting back to some community building stuff, people might be going, okay, well, I've got a bunch of clients and stuff. How do I start building this community? The first thing that I will say is you need to build it the way that you want to build it. You can look externally for ideas, for maybe creativity things of, oh, that's a good idea, mate. I'll actually, that's right up my alley. I would do that. But essentially, the community building is in your hands. The way I would build my community is going to be very, very different from the way Mooney would do his. For example,
100%.
I don't do social events with clients. Like, I'll do a general gym Christmas party and stuff like that, but I do not do general social events with clients as like just a client get together. I don't do it. And here's the reason why I don't. Bad shit happens with high rapport and high amounts of alcohol. Because I have seen it happen many, many, many times. I'm married. You're married. Like, this is like not for us.
Yeah.
I don't want, if I was a trainer single, for want of a better word, I'm not going to shit where I eat.
Yep.
And also, I don't want my clients doing the same thing. If they can find each other themselves, great. But my job is not Cupid. So therefore, I have nothing to do with the social aspect of stuff. When it comes to actual training stuff, I have a very specific way that I want things done. You do not see me doing outdoor boot camps. I am not that kind of coach.
Yeah, yeah.
But there are many coaches that I know that you know that are. They're very social. They're very bubbly. They want to do free events. They want to do dog walks. They want to do this. I will get involved in whole gym events. I will not put on client-specific events because it's not the kind of client that I attract.
Yeah, and that goes back to the point at the start, or if I mentioned this or not, it's in my notes too, is that when you're building your community, you need to know your niche, what you specialize in, what your avatar is, who your client is, feels, looks, sounds, and acts like, your own level of education. So obviously you're not going to try and create a community of people that are way above or way below it. You have to understand your local environment, your client base, etc. So based on those things alone, I mean, personally, I would do social events, but they wouldn't be done with alcohol, and I would navigate that. I'd set them up in a way that alcohol doesn't even come into it. So if I was going to say, hey guys, we're all over the show from Monday through Friday. We all got something in common. We all communicate on our private Facebook chat. Let's get together Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I've got a football. We're going to go play 7-on-7 in a park for an hour and a half, then bail off and do what you got to do. So removing the chances of it becoming one of those events if you feel that your client base are that way. But again, you create what you create, right? Going for team dog walks. I know I've got a couple of clients that they enjoy that thing, that they're dog folks, and that's what they do. It wouldn't be something for me, but if someone turned around and said, there's a charter boat that goes out at 5 a.m. and comes back at 11 a.m. and you go fishing for the morning. Like, I'm not even a fisherman, but that's cool. I would do that. And I'd say, oh, fellas, who wants in on this? It's going to cost X. We divvy up the price and off we go. You know, those kind of social events. So if I 100% agree with you, you don't shit where you eat. So if you think your crowd, even if you're not that way, if you think your crowd might navigate in that kind of direction, reduce the risk of that and establish these other things to get them away. But I think it's really important to have some sort of group. It might just be an indoor workout. It might be skirmish, golf, doesn't matter. I just think getting them out of the gym environment to socialize and network is a powerful part of that community as well. Just know your market, know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to build a community, it can be as simple as grabbing your clients and putting them in a group. Okay, let's wind it back a couple of levels before social media. How would you do that? You would have everyone on an email database. Maybe twice a week you'd flick out an email. One might be training related, one might be nutritional related, and you get your engagement that way. Now, that's still a really effective way, and for ongoing marketing purposes, it's a great way to keep a fresh and live and active email database up and running, right? But we have social media, and it's a lot easier to put one post in a group and have people communicate with that. Where a lot of people go wrong is they build a group on Facebook. They add people to it. They post a flurry of things in the first week, then nothing. And nothing after that, then nothing after that. And it becomes that little group where every now and again you get a notification, but you don't even look at it because you know it's not going to have anything that's really interesting. So if you're going to do the community thing and you're going to use social media group like Facebook, you've got to commit to it 100%. You've got to be posting in it real, raw, relevant topics 2, 3, 4 times a week. They've got to be things that are engaging and extracting conversation from the people in the community. Otherwise, like I said, they'll just scroll past it, right? So you've got to give it some thought. You've got to provide value. You've got to provide something interest, but it's got to be something that's also entertaining. What happens when most people are on Facebook? When are you on your Facebook? More often than not, it's when you're bored of something else. TV's on, you're flicking through your phone. You know, you're waiting for a bus, you're flicking through your phone. You're in traffic as a passenger, you're flicking through your phone, right? To make them stop, it's got to be entertaining. Okay, it doesn't have to be cheesy. It doesn't have to be motivation Monday and hump day happiness. Like, it doesn't all have to rhyme and all that sort of shit. You just got to commit to it. I'm going to post 3 times a week. These are the topics I'm going to post on. And in between that, I'm going to post relevant and engaging stuff to make my team feel like we're all just sitting around a table. If you're not doing that, you're kind of just wasting it and you're not going to build that community, right? So if you commit to it, you got to go all in and you got to be engaging. There's a book I'm reading. It's the second time I've read it through. I read it the first time and ended up booking tickets to the US and went and spent a week over there at a seminar. I've come back, I've picked through it, and I've decided to start it from front to back again. And I feel like it's the first time I read it again because the amount of things I've learned in the last 8 to 10 months since I first got it to where I am now and I'm rereading, it's like I'm reading with different eyes, you know, just like when we say, when we train, we speak in different languages to get our client up in level with us. But for those that, if you're watching on YouTube, it's called Expert Secrets. It's Russell Brunson, the guy that owns ClickFunnels. Highly recommend it. But it's all about this. It's all about when you're the expert, how to leverage that and create a mass movement around you. Now, that mass movement could be 5 people. A mass movement could be 5 million people. It depends on how engaging you are or what your sites are, where you're setting them, right? 3 things you have to have, and I'm not going to go into this in too much detail because I highly recommend you get the book yourself, but each mass movement has a charismatic leader. So you can't be boring. Okay? You don't have to be Ronald McDonald, as is evidence when you see guys like Hitler, you know, when you see guys like, well, pick any big political leader, world leader. You don't really necessarily have to be entertaining, but you do have to have charisma. You've got to be preaching or sending some sort of message that people identify with. Don't go the Hitler route. I'm not saying go create cults of mass murderers and roam through countrysides, but be a charismatic leader and identify a cause. What's your cause? Like in your community, what is your cause? Is it to beat obesity? Is it to become better athletes? Is it to have happier lifestyles? Is it to create a version of yourself that your kids can look up to? Whatever it is, identify what your cause is, because that's what's really going to attract people into your community, right? You have to show them a new opportunity, a vehicle of change. People in gyms and commercial gyms, they've tried this to lose weight. They've tried that to gain muscle. They've tried this to get fitter, but here they are. They're still looking for something. So they don't necessarily want a new way of doing it. They don't want to have to improve on what they already know. They just want to have like a vehicle of change, a different way to get there. Yeah, so that's where you might come in. So again, if your cause is to focus on strength and fitness for men over 35, right? That's who you're going to try and appeal to. What's the way to help them achieve their goals without having to tell them just to work harder, you know, or to work smarter? You got to come up with something different. So that's where you got to think, and that's where you build your opportunity from there. Nate, if you looked at yourself, you know, and I know you're obviously, you said from the start you've got your own different way of doing things, but if you could throw a blanket over your client base, is there something in common that they all have?
The chicks. I train a lot of girls. I train a lot of varying age girls, but most of which want the same stuff. I get a client who is down the path of basically everyone else, which is basically, I want to lose a little bit of body fat. I want to tone up this. I want to do this. The only difference that they're going to get with me is they're getting put through a system that's going to get some longevity out of the process. That's the only real difference of the stuff that I've got. I'm doing it long enough that I know where the pitfalls are going to come before they even get there, and I'm putting things into a system. So my community comes to me for one thing: results. The thing that helps them stay there is that know that there's other women going through it just like them, regardless of age. In fact, my older girls actually help my younger ones a hell of a lot, because they give them compliments, they shower them with stuff, they tell them this. It's just good verbal communication. They like to be told nice things, and it also sometimes helps to hear from someone who they aren't paying, so they don't feel like it's like a massively fake thing. I don't pander to them, but it also helps when someone goes, "Hey, you're actually looking a lot better. I see your hard work is actually paying off." So that helps out a lot. Because most of my client base is often slightly older, a lot of social media stuff doesn't tend to work all that well. They don't like to communicate in that fashion. So email or phone calls often can be good. Email is very one-on-one, very direct. I can say that face-to-face anyway. So most of the stuff that I will do is face-to-face community events. I'll do like seminars. I'll do like this. I've done shopping trips in the past, things that they're going to get something educational out of with my personal flair kind of thrown in on. I always just tie it back to the results that they've got. That's just how I've always done things. And like I said, if the gym as a whole is going to do a general community thing, I will absolutely try to get them involved, just so they know more people in and around the environment.
Yeah. And it's obvious in the way you do things, Nate, is that you are a charismatic leader, and in that community, they are going to listen to you. I mean, you know, and I know 100 different PTs that probably work a similar demographic, but are constantly turning over their clients, you know what I mean? Or they struggle to keep them, or the clients aren't getting the results they want because the leader's not in place. It's a person running the program or running the session, but they haven't then they haven't established themselves as a leader or as an authority. They're just the trainer, right? So I think you've done that organically anyway. So your vehicle of change for them is not so much the workout, because they could do that anywhere else, but it's your way of delivering that workout, and it's your way of probably getting their head right as to what they should be expecting versus what they're getting. Yeah.
My girls get taught to think, basically. Like, they get taught to use their heads and start to decipher stuff. Yes, they're paying for advice. Yes, they're paying for direction. But the way that I structure it is that at some point, we are not going to be doing this anymore. Yep. Whether that is next week, next year, next decade, whatever. So you don't want this style of the way things are going to stop. So how can we continue to keep this going on? And then we work backwards from there.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
Absolutely.
So they'll come to me with questions and stuff that I will put it back on them to help me answer it. This is what I think, and this is why. What did you think? Okay, that's not wrong. That's not right. And I get them to start to think objectively about a whole heap of different things. I am there as the male to put the logic back into their emotion.
Yeah.
That's all I'm there to do.
Good, man. And that's part of that. Like, again, if we were to put this fence around your community, and I know this is not really your buzz, because I know you're happy with the way you roll and the way things are, but if you were someone saying, now I'm happy with one, I just want more of it, my tip would be, we'd chuck a fence around that, and we'd highlight that is your culture. We'd highlight that the point that your main point of difference is that you're getting them to think for themselves, to be accountable for their own results, because you know that your system and processes you do are going to get them there. They've just got to think for themselves, right? Mm-hmm. And the fact that you're a no bullshit guy that's not going to just sort of tell them what they want because they're feeling a bit down, or you're feeling a bit down, or whatever. It's a measured approach that they can rely on. And like you said, you're putting the logic back in a predominantly emotional environment with your client base. Yeah. Look, another reason why community works is because, especially in a commercial gym environment, if you do it well and you make a little bit of fuss, a bit of fuss about it, is the status element attached to it. Like, everyone wants to feel important. Everyone, like, if people weren't driven by status, we wouldn't be driving $100,000 cars when there's a perfectly fucking good one for 20 grand that probably uses less fuel, costs less for insurance, costs less on tires and all the rest of it, right? We don't spend $1,000 on a handbag that can barely fit your phone in it, right? Status is important. So if you create that community, again, keeping in mind we're discussing this in the context of a commercial gym environment, people that don't have personal trainers will look at your group and they all seem to be having a good time. When they see each other, they stop and they have a chat, and the word gets out, oh, that's, they're trained by Nate, or they're trained by Mary, or they're trained by Steve. And that community is tight, right? And they're doing things outside of the gym together. When there's a club-driven initiative, they're all in it together. It's a status thing. People want to be a part of something special, and they will seek it out. They'll want to be a part of it, right? So a status increase, or an appearance of status increase, is really important. So you have to look at it and go, if I was to create this community, how can I influence that? How can I influence people's status within the gym environment, right? Now, it can be thought about that. I know there's some people out there that'll be going, well, I'm just not about that life. And it's like, cool. You don't need to be. Maybe your community is the one that sit in the corner and go, oh, they think they're so good. I guarantee you, most people in a commercial gym setting want to be in the group that are winning. They want to be in the group that are achieving results and having a good time while they do it. So that's another point there to consider when you're creating your community, is identify yourself as the charismatic leader. What is your cause? What is the cause that's going to draw people into a community and want people to stay as a part of it? And what's the vehicle of change you're providing them as a result of being in the community? And how can you give them a feeling of an increased or an improved status, whether that's their social status or their health status or their own personal status when they look at themselves in the mirror, whatever it is. They've got to make people feel special. Can this be done purely on one-on-one and having 20 separate clients? Potentially, yeah. I just think from a PT's perspective, it's a fuckload extra work. It's a lot of extra head space you're filling up, rather than creating a community and attracting like-minded people to it. So that's something that I highly recommend people do, is build your community. And I'm sort of going back over the things I said at the start, just because I look back at my notes. Building that community, though, it's going to establish you as an authority within the gym too, right? People start to see this community swelling. They start to see you doing more social things. And again, like we said, that could be food and drink social. They could be lifestyle and activity social. But FOMO kicks into gear. People want to be a part of something. If they're at the gym and they're not getting the results, they may feel being in this community makes all the difference. So if you're a PT in a commercial gym, it's definitely something I'd be looking into. Talk to your PT manager.
It helps the longevity of your client base for sure. If you're getting people together and getting them to talk and getting them to communicate, it gives them another reason to stay. Not really just for you, like you're not really just, I'll introduce them to this person so they don't leave me so I can keep getting paid. It's, I'm going to introduce them to this person because that person struggled with the same shit they struggle through, and it's going to help them stay longer so they achieve stuff, so they know they can do it and they can help someone else.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. And that's,
if you look at this in a way that isn't about your wallet, the wallet's going to pack up. This is why, and this is also why I do things the way that I do. Most people will have a way better culture and a better rapport with most of their clients and stuff they have. I'm far more about gym environment and stuff like that, and getting the team stuff done and just participating in stuff that the gym puts on, as opposed to putting my own stuff on, because I just want more people to win. Trust me, guys. Look, I am going to be by myself doing this for a long time. I don't need staff, but I can make 20 times more money if I need to, doing this with a couple of things on the side very, very easily, okay? Money is not the issue here. If you're thinking about this in a monetary sense, that is fine. But if you only think about this in a monetary sense, you are going to burn out pretty freaking quickly. You've got to have the thought process of the person that's coming to me, how can I start to help them? And will they fit my style or will they fit my community? I took a lady and gave her to another trainer last week. I took her through all of her introductory sessions. That was I gave her an hour, that's 3 hours of my time I didn't get paid for, and it didn't lead to me getting the cash. The other trainer is getting the cash now. They are being paid several times a week by this person because they will be the person to get better results than me. I'm not expecting you to do that. But the headspace needs to be, how can I help putting yourself in a position of delivering value and having their targets in mind, and I guarantee you get paid.
100%. And the beautiful thing about doing it in a community is, again, let's use it 2018, you've built a little Facebook group. You're able to serve and help more people in a more efficient, timely manner without having to stretch your own personal resources to the max to do so. So let's say you're doing 20 sessions a week. You know, by doing a dedicated hour every second day in your community, you're reaching 20 people in a go. You don't have to add another 20 hours of phone calls or visits or anything like this. So it's maximizing your time so that when you deliver this information or this content to your community, you're loving it. You're not taxed. It's on your own terms, but they all get to read it in their own time, you know, and it can be done in a way that you can feed off their engagement. You send an email out, they read it. You don't really have a connection. It's a great way to do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of email marketing, but in a Facebook environment, you can create instant engagement. The other members can join in as well. And all of a sudden, like you said earlier, in the client A says to client B, wow, I went through the same troubles and this is how I got over it. Resonates 1 million times stronger than you saying, hey, I have another client who went through the same struggles you're going through. This is how they got over it. There's still a tendency for everyone's a bit pessimistic to go, hey, you're just saying that. You're just saying that, or, oh, you don't really mean it. But when it comes from someone else inside a trusted community, it's super valuable. And as you said, at the end of the day, we're here to help people live fitter and healthier versions of themselves. Isn't that what it's about? If we have more people encouraging each other to push a little harder to get the result they want, that's the result they're going to get. It makes you feel amazing. And as you said, the dollars come, the dollars flow with that.
If you get the results, you get paid. You like the quality stuff always lasts. The best supplement companies are still around because they do good shit. This company's still around because they do good shit. You don't have to give away free stuff. You just got to provide quality in the way that is authentic to you, and have a bit of patience and let it go.
Yep. So for those listening from the start to where we are now, is let's say you got to this point. You've got your 20 clients you love to work with. You're doing an hour each or whatever your model is, or you got give or take 20, but you might have 2 sessions a week. So you're filling up. You're filling up pretty good. You've got your community-based stuff. You're doing fortnightly catch-ups. There's video and photo evidence of these fortnightly catch-ups, so people can see the environment and the culture that you've developed. There's conversation flowing after posts. There's engagement on there. There's people sharing lifestyle milestones as well as their physical fitness milestones. And you're sitting back going, I'm pretty busy. I don't really have much time for more clients. I might consider this online thing. I think I'm about a stage now where the only way I can maximize my reach is to now open up to online. Now you start inviting people into this particular group. They get to see all this information that I just explained. They get to witness and be a part of the engagement. Are they more likely to engage you as their trainer now than they would have 12 months ago or 6 months ago before you started this project and you just put a post out saying, hey, I'm looking for 10 clients between the ages of 30 and 35 who want to live like this and act like that? Which one do you think is going to have a better strike rate?
Yeah, it's not really rocket science. Like it's not.
No.
You can spin this and you can do it however you want to do it.
Mm.
You can put a velvet rope beyond it and everything like that. The case in point is, more than likely there is somebody else out there that knows how to get results better than you do, and that's not a bad thing. That's just an obvious. There's fucking thousands who know how to get results probably better than I do. They train with you for a reason. They're wanting to inquire with you for a reason. Show them what you got. Show them who you are. Be open. Trust me, I can give away all my programs for free, and not even 1% of the people would fucking do them anyway, so it doesn't really bother me.
Yep.
Show them what you've got. Show them this is how we interact. Come in to the Facebook group, see what it's like for a few days. Ask some questions. Here, I'll just add you. Put up a post. Hey guys, this is Damo. He's thinking about coming on board. Give him a like. You know, let him know about your experience of kind of what you've been doing. He's looking to lose 20 kilos. Those of you guys who've lost that, let him know what he's in for, how long you've been going for it. And you get some testimonials maybe in there organically. They write some stuff. Hey, yeah, it's real hard to stay off the beers, and they like write some stuff out.
Yep.
You get your community doing the work for you because they want to. Like they want to be, because now that they've had results, everyone does this, right? You play one bloody game of NRL footy and you're a fucking expert. Like you lose 20 kilos and now you're fucking all of a sudden Bob and Jillian from The Biggest Loser, you're the trainers.
Yeah.
Let them have their say. It's a closed environment. It's your community. No one's going to
lead anyway.
Yeah, they're following your lead anyway. If they say anything off brash, you can always just pull them in later. Like there's no real lose in that situation.
And dude, you've mentioned something just before that jogged my memory. I know a couple of guys that are what most would call successful online personal trainers. You know, they're making 7-figure incomes as online PT. Now, how they leverage their group. Now, some of them I value and I respect how they do it. They're great humans as well as operators, but the model has been misused by others as well. So again, we're talking to people who aren't shit humans, so we can take that piece out. Once you've got your community and your face-to-face PT generating the kind of income you're happy with and you're willing to survive on, or you think, yeah, this is cool. Now I can start to be versatile and grow it. You might just do what you said. Hey, come and have a week inside our private community. You can have a look at the programs that I've saved. You can look at the videos that we've got saved under video files. You can communicate with some of my members. And then at the end of that week, if you want to stick around, I've got a $10 a week membership. $10 a week, they're in the group. So you're monetizing your group all of a sudden, right? Then if they want to then purchase a PT package from you or a program from you, the opportunity's there as well. So that's another way that you can monetize your social media group if you harness it well from the start. Now, you can't do that if you open up a group for the first time and it's $10 to get in and there's a $30 program and there's $200 coaching. If no one's in there to back up that you actually know your shit and you can deliver on it, that's a hard slog. That's a big uphill battle. Build the community first, establish yourself as the charismatic leader with the cause and the vehicle of change. Then those opportunities open up and they're a lot, I'm not going to say easier, but they're a lot more realistic that they'll happen for you. You know, you put in the work.
It's relatively straightforward. Just be authentic. Yeah, just be authentic and just think about how you would want to be interacted with. Often start there and then you can start tweaking. You can even ask your clients advice. Like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you reckon? Like, build them in, ask them their feedback. They're going to be the initial ones in the process. You can always change it or adapt it down later. If this is something
No
you want to do,
vulnerability.
just start. Like it's not, and like you're not building community for instant return on investment. Like you're building it for the longevity of their results and the other results that you potentially get in the future. You're literally using it as a building block. It is not going to be a popular thing. Probably the first 6 months you use it.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, it's probably maybe the first year. Just keep hammering with it. Keep getting them involved. If you believe in it, they will come to the party and they'll start to believe in it soon as well.
And guess what? If they're in your community, put them in there. They're not resonating. They're not really clicking. They're either going to remove themselves from it or they'll be a sleeper. Either way, it shouldn't change the way you are because you're trying to build something. It's like, I don't know. I like history. I get into a bit of history. Go back and have a look and see how many times, like if you look at Brisbane, Sydney, Rome, whatever, they didn't just sit there and go, well, that'll never work and leave it. Someone at some point put a stone down and said, well, this is where I'm building from. You know, some obviously sprouted up faster than others, but at the end of the day, you've got to start it for it to keep growing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what it's about, guys. I think we're also at a time in society where everyone loved the fact that they could live at home and live off their phone and not really have to engage with community and society in general. But we're also coming almost full circle where people actively miss that. Their life and their work and everything's been set up in a way that they don't socialize much. They go to a commercial gym, but they train with a PT so that they go in, they do their session and they bounce. People are craving community. People miss it. And we're so lost as to what is like everyone has something in common, but no one actually connects. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great opportunity to really stand out, to bring people together that have things in common inside a physical community, inside an actual zone, postcode, city, town, region. And if that's your priority and you build that up to the max, you'll find people just like it all around the world that want to be in it as well. And that, again, is where you start entertaining the idea of going online with your ready-made audience. So that's, I hope you guys can see the benefits of focusing on building a community inside your commercial gym rather than just looking at it as I've got 20 clients out of 1,500 or 20 clients out of 2,000 that I train. I think if you look at it that way, you're missing massive opportunity to develop something special, not just income, but actually life-changing special moments for you and your clients around you.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to add on to that one, Nate?
No, we're solid. Just find something. If it's for you, just get it started. Once you start it, just commit to something and don't stop it. That's all it is. Just give it a crack. You're doing it for the benefit of your clients and potential future clients. No other reason. Done.
Exactly. And guys, now look, this is episode 23. Reach out, comment below, shoot us DMs. You know, if you've got questions about this particular topic, I'm more than happy to spend time with you. This is something I do dig a fair bit of time into. But there's also a bunch of guys that I would be more than happy to recommend you reach out to them, books to read, blogs and podcasts to follow. So get in touch, email, inbox, DM, comment below, whatever the case is. Share this out with people. It's great. We're starting to get a bit of a following. Each week I'm getting someone new via when I share it on Insta or on YouTube. Someone will inbox us and go, hey, look, this is really cool. And we're at a stage now where they're getting referred the show by people we don't know. Which is fantastic. So that's us trying to build our community, guys. And maybe we've got to do that, Nate. Maybe we'll have to start a PT Performance Podcast Facebook group. Get a few people in there talking some shit.
Yeah, well, we can easily do it.
The mind boggles. All right, guys. Awesome. Episode 23. That's a wrap. We'll see what we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm off. I'm here for next week and then away for a couple. So we'll try and, I think earlier this year we tried to do them from overseas, but time zones and internet connection became a challenge. Yeah. But I want to pull it off. I want to pull off an international catch up.
We can easily attempt it again, especially if you're only going to the States this time. Well, you were States last time, weren't you?
Yeah, that one was tough because of the seminar I was at. The hours we were in the seminar was kind of like the normal hours for everyone back home, and then when I wasn't there was sleep time. So
yeah, okay.
No, we can pull it off. I'll be in Silicon Valley, so if I can't fucking get online in Silicon Valley, we're in all sorts of trouble.
We'll attempt it. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
See ya.